everyone. I really love to see so many startups from our portfolio, from our community, from projects we did years ago. Angelica, it's really nice that a lot of people join, and of course also the Wayra team. Welcome to this session. Why do we offer this lunch and learn session today? Actually, it's our first lunch and learn session, and we have two main reasons for that. The first one is it has been over a year since we started home office, actually too long, and I'm sure you feel sometimes like me, tired and not really productive, and also kind of lost and with a feeling to really get out of this. So even we don't see each other, me and of course the entire Wayra team think about you, and we want to support you in business, but not only that, also in your mental health. The last year was really not easy also for me. Some of you know I have a 9-year-old daughter. She was mainly in homeschooling. So to balance all this work, homeschooling on the other side was really a challenge for me personally. And I have to say what me helped out of this was my morning routine with yoga, running, more healthy food. And I really believe that mental fitness is very important, to go through this special time. And the second reason why we offer this lunch and learn session today is that we have a birthday, a big birthday. Maybe you have already read online or you heard it this morning in our Wayra Breakfast Club session led by the Wayra team. We celebrate our Wayra's 10th anniversary, and we are super proud about that. So Wayra was born actually 2011 already to provide first Latin American talent opportunities and retain their creativity and innovation in the region. But since then, it has become a global initiative. As you know, we are present in 10 countries. And we really try to match startups on the one hand and the Telefonica business in Europe and Latin America. And in the past 10 years, and here I share only two main figures, more than 250 startups have worked with Telefonica. It's really a huge number, and have earned more than 285 million euros by reselling products to Telefonica customers or contributing any other innovation by new innovative solutions to the company's internal processes. And actually, we think you're a part of this access. Without you, this wouldn't have been possible. And therefore, let us celebrate Wayra 10th anniversary together by kicking off now this session, Mental Fitness. And here I want to welcome Daniela. She is our health coach. I had already the opportunity to join one of her sessions, and I loved it so much because she is full of power and energy. Her motto is health is not a goal, it is a lifestyle. And I talked to her directly after the session. I said, okay, I want to bring your session also to our startups. And I hope you like it as much as I did. So Daniela, welcome, and the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Catherine. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here today. And before we're going to dive into all these topics I want to share with you today about mental fitness, about stress management, I want to do a little activation exercise because I'm assuming all of you have been working since 8, 9, maybe 7 or even earlier, and you may not have had a break. So I want all of you to get up now. I'm going to do a little 2-minute exercise. It's very easy, but I want you to get energized and ready for the session because my session will be very energizing and I don't want you to fall asleep. So I'm gonna share a little sound right now, and we did some testing, so hoping it does work. So please all stand up, okay? And just all stand up and just roll your shoulders to the front and the back. Shoulder roll, because our shoulders are usually very tight from the sitting. Roll the shoulders Very nice. And turn back to the front and just roll your head. Just little head roll, just both directions. Just try to relax. Now I'm going to take off my jacket because I want you to reach up. I want you all to reach up to the floor. Just stretching your spine, just as if you were trying to grab what's on the ceiling. Just really stretching as well. Just go on your tippy toes. Just a little bit. Here we go. Okay. Back down. Take your right arm up and turn to the left side. This is just stretching the whole side of it. Very good. Same on the other side. Just really stretching the left side, okay? Very good, very good. Loosen up, then take your hands and just shake them. Shake them, because we've been doing so much writing, typing, and we need to loosen our fingers, our hands. Just do whatever you want to do right now. Just let it out, let it flow. Leave your hands and start jumping. Just, on the spot. You can turn around if you want to. You can just even go on one foot. This is really just to keep the energy, start the energy flowing. Yes, just whatever. You can jump around a little bit. No one looks. It's not really. Very good. Just jumping around. Stand still. And just try to feel the energy that is moving throughout your body. Just try to really pay attention to the energy that's flowing throughout the body. And take a deep breath in and out. Okay. Are you feeling energized? So, let me put on my jacket. Get going. Wonderful. Now, this is something you can do easily at home, little break, open the window and just get the energy in, because the energy goes away, it flows. So this is very important. Now, okay, let me share my presentation with you, okay? Because I have something prepared. And like I said, I'm very, very excited to be here today with you. I'm very proud that I'm part of this 10-year anniversary, because this is a great achievement, and all of you have been a part of it, have played a role in the past 5-10 years. And this is wonderful. We should celebrate this. So I'm very grateful and honored to be here. And I want to share with you a little bit what we're going to talk about today in the next 50 minutes. And you will see that I have a lot to talk about. I always have to make sure that I don't step over time, but I will make it quick. We're going to touch first on the benefits on the symptoms of stress. And I'll tell you why a lot of us may be feeling stress right now. We're going to talk about mental fitness. What does it mean? And how does it help us to better deal with stress? We're going to go a little more into something that is probably very relevant to you in particular, well, to all of us really. It's digital stress and digital detox. How we can make sure we separate ourselves from these devices, because we work on those devices on laptop, computer 24/7. So it's very important to find space and time to disconnect. What I want to share afterwards, some general stress management techniques, and make sure you stay right till the end, because I have a little gift I want to share with you. And then we would do a Q&A and a coaching. So if someone of you struggles with stress-related health issues, you have the opportunity to get a little mini coaching in this time. We have like 10 minutes or so. So if you have any question that comes up, feel free to post it in the chat. Therese is watching the chat. We will then in the end just address the questions, right? So don't be shy, just write it down. And I want to make sure that all of you, get the most out of this session, because my goal today is to really help you to raise awareness of your body's signs, because most of the time we run around totally unaware of what our body is feeling, because we don't pay attention, because over 90% happens unconsciously. So this session is designed to make you reflect and to make you aware, and hopefully inspire some kind of change. Then, what else can you expect? Well, I'm going to be sharing useful tips and insights on how to stay mentally fit. I'm going to always refer to certain applications that I'm using. I'm sure all of you love apps. I'm going to share simple ways that you can practice anytime at home, even when you don't have a lot of time. I will sharing or give a lot of energy, inspiration, and motivation. So in order for you to make the most out of the session, I know you're all very, very busy and you have a million things on your to-do list as business owners. Try to be present, be engaged, and be open. You know, just be here for the next 50 minutes. Don't try to open your emails at the same time. I'm going to share later why this is important. Just be here to get the most out of this, you know? And so who's ready for some mental fitness information? Just give me a hands up. I hope you're all very excited. And also, please always be engaged, share feedback. If something is unclear, post it in the chat. Therese can address it if it's urgent, if it's, something doesn't make sense. So this is my way for you to see you, to know you're engaged and here, because I can't see you. I can only see my slides and the camera. So, okay. And with that, I want to share just two little things about myself for those that don't know me, because I think it's important that you know who's talking to you. So I'm Daniela Ullman, and I'm your presenter for today. I can fortunately look back at a 20-year, very successful international career in corporate. I've worked for Fortune 500 companies such as Siemens. I've worked for Tesla, one of the main startups that everyone talks about, and most recently Telefonica. And in my role as Telefonica, I support the CEO of Telefonica Global Services. You may have heard of procurement, maybe not, but it's the unity that, you know, the entity that supports to provides the procurement services for the entire company worldwide. And I support the CEO and also am responsible for implementing all the health-related measures and activities. So I'm a corporate health representative, and you know, I had always had this passion for health and fitness, and in 2019 I decided, maybe like many of you, you know, I want to pursue my dream and make a business out of my dream. So I decided to open a business as a health coach. I went back to study in one of the largest nutrition and wellness schools in New York, or in the US, or maybe even globally in New York. And since 2019 I have my own business on the side still. One step, you probably all, I'm not sure if you are all 100% business owners, but I'm one of you, you know. And so yeah, I think it's the greatest gift I could have given myself, because I get up every day wanting to make a difference and a positive contribution, like I guess all of us want to do. And if I don't work for any of the businesses at Telefonica, I'm a passionate runner. I love to do yoga and meditating and meeting new people. And I'm also in a speaker club, Toastmaster, in case some of you have heard it. And my motto is, like Catherine said, you know, health is not a goal, it's a lifestyle. And so with that, let's jump into the actual presentation. Now, I want to share a quote with you. If knowledge was power and lifestyle was medicine, we could eliminate 80% of heart disease, 90% of diabetes, and 60% of cancer in the world. So what does this tell us? That it is very important to live a healthy way of living, a healthy lifestyle. And it also tells us that stress is the main cause for literally all diseases that there are. And that's why this session is so very important right now. And I know that a lot of you, I think we're all in this together, have been suffering a great amount of stress, especially, you know, in the past year. 2020, what a year. I don't even want to talk about the C word anymore, but it's been dominated by the pandemic. And we've been suffering, you know, in our personal lives because we've worried about the health of our loved ones, our partners, you know, our family, our parents, grandparents, friends maybe. And also we've been struggling in our businesses because the growth, maybe we didn't generate enough revenue as we did the years before. The growth wasn't as good, and we have maybe financial worries. So a lot of us have been worried and stressed, you know, and this does lead to a variety of health issues on the long run, problems, like I said before. You know, I'm going to mention a few in a minute, but we have all been suffering. So it's not something new I'm sharing here today. So, and everyone deals differently with stress, you know. I just want to share a few of the signs that people are suffering with stress-wise, you know. And please use this also to reflect on yourself, you know, to think what maybe, how does stress affect myself? You know, because this session is for you, you know, that you reflect more and learn to know your body more and your body's signs. So on a physical level, you know, how can we experience stress? We have little energy, headaches, maybe have digestive issues, bloating, cramps. We may have a problem sleeping, sleep apnea, insomnia is a big problem, muscle aches in certain tension. All these are ways that we are tensed here, being up here tense, that we are stressed. Mentally, concentration issues, you know, we worry, we forget things, you know, we're not focused anymore. This is another part of the session. Emotionally, we're angry, you know, we may be short-tempered, you know, we have a discussion with a coworker and maybe our spouse, friend, and we notice we just respond in a way that we didn't notice we would respond, you know, a little like, And all these are signs of stress. And here I'm not saying stress is a bad thing, you know, I can't, unfortunately, due to time, go into the details of stress and what it does to our body and with neurosystem and stuff. But what I do know is that, and want to share, is that it leads to long-term health risks. And we've all heard them before. I mean, it starts with the ones I said. It goes to burnout, it goes to cancer, heart diseases, stroke, and all these people that die suddenly of a stroke or heart attack, you know, and then they say everything was good. I mean, this is all part of your lifestyle, people. So that's why it's important you start doing something today or tomorrow, and not when you get 50 or turn 50 or 60 years old, because all this builds up, you know, every single thing you do every day, every healthy habit builds. And that's what I usually share in my talks for other companies, healthy habits. Alzheimer is another one, but I'm not here to scare you. I just want to raise awareness. And having said that, I mean, we all know what we need to do, right? I'm assuming we know that, you know, in order to feel better, we need to drink a lot, exercise more, you know, eat healthier, right? Don't we all know what we're supposed to do? But there's one more thing that's even more important than that. And it's the way how we mentally and emotionally feel. You know, instead of focusing so much on what happens from our neck down, we need to focus more what happens up here. Because if we can't change your mindset, no change will stick on the long run. And there's one thing that's even more important. And it's like I said, it's called mental fitness. And mental fitness, you know, doesn't only help us to be more resistant to stress. It's one of the nice side effects. It also boosts our productivity, our performance. It helps us to make better decisions because we're mentally clear. Have you heard of mental fogginess? You know, not sure, can't really think properly. And it also promotes happiness and overall health and well-being. There's so many benefits. I mean, there are so many more pillars of mental fitness, which unfortunately I can't go into, but this is why it's important that our mind functions so that you can stay in your peak state and work effectively, work focused, be energized, and end the day thinking, wow, look at everything that I did today. Don't we all want to feel that way? I want to feel that way. You know, there's one way in particular that helps us to strengthen our mental fitness. And that is knowing how to deal with digital stress. And let's look at the situation where we are. You know, we all live with digital devices. You know, we can't be without them anymore. And it's a great thing. You know, it helped all of us each one of you to grow your businesses, go internationally, expand, talk to friends all over the world. You know, thank God we have these opportunities, especially if we look back at the last year. But the thing is so that our organism, our body can only absorb a certain amount of information. And if it goes on too much, we have a sensory overload, which then triggers stress. So I want to go a little more into detail, but I want to find out quickly from you what your stress level is like. And also, I'm a bit curious to know how many hours you spend on your phone every day. So I want all of you now to go to menti.com. You can either take a photo of the QR code, or you just type in the code. And I can say the code is 14612844. And given the freaks you are, I'm sure you're already in there. So I want to make sure I'm not the last one here. So I'm going to open up. Hang on, I want to see my thing here. Where is it? Here. So, okay. Just bring it on. What is the stress level like most days? Okay, maybe not now, but just in a general. And that's just to get an idea, a feeling, you know, on a level from 1 to 10. Okay. 6.5, that's not so bad. 6.8, 9 people voted. Come on, people. One more feedback. Be present. Be with me. 6.6, you can see the code up here as well if you can't see it. 6.6, 14 people voted. A little, maybe we can get a few more. Okay, 6.7, 15 people voted. Now that's not so bad, you know, out of 10. Maybe even how you feel now, stressed now, you can just to get an idea of how you feel most of the time. Okay, one more, 20. Okay, 6.1, that's not bad. You know, on a scale from 1 to 10, I think that's okay. If you were to put now, if we had like an 8 or 9, that's very worrying, but that is not so bad. So let's go on, ask one more question, okay? And that is the question on how much time you spend on your smartphones per day, okay? And the choices are, okay, 1 to 3 hours, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 plus hours, okay? For whatever that is, could be social networking, productivity, entertainment, fitness, apps, you know, anything. Okay, see 10%, 7 plus hours is if that's like an average, okay, maybe not just the average of the week. Okay, most people 3 to 5 hours. That's not bad, I think. I think I'm around the same range. Okay, so just to give you an idea, I'm not sure if you know that, but there is a way you can actually track your smartphone usage on your phone. All of you probably know that already, but that's a good way to give you an idea of how, not only how many hours we spend on our phones every day. I have an iPhone, so I see it on screen time. You probably can see that too. And then also it gives me an idea of how many times I picked up my phone, which is also very interesting during the day. You know, like could be 20 times, 50 times, 100 times. And that's very interesting. How many times do you actually pick up your phone every day? And you will be surprised if you see the answer. So a lot of people have the problem that they spend too much time on their phone and that they're stressed digitally. There is a study that was done by the Fraunhofer Institute in 2018, 2019. And let me just go back here. And so in that study, over 45% of people said they were moderately stressed, and 8% said they were severely to strongly stressed. That was a study with 5,000 people. So that is quite surprising and alarming. And that was in 2019. So the studies are going up because we spend more and more time online. But why am I sharing this? Because I want you to, again, just raise the awareness of how much time we spend. And there are really cool smartphone trackers. I just want to mention that right now before we go even more into the details. Apart from your phone, there are actually really cool apps I want to share with you later, where you can not only track your time, also reward yourself when you stay off your phone. So, digital stress. What is it? It's like I said, we are relying on our smartphones, on our digital devices, right? We are controlled by our devices, so to speak. And we have all these great opportunities. But like I said before, the permanent sensory overload on our body, permanently giving our body all these different senses and things to take in, triggers stress. So what are the main 3 triggers of digital stress? Number 1 is constant availability. Now, remember years ago, you would send an email to someone and then you would wait patiently until you get a response, right? Until you got a response. So what happens now? You send an email, and then a couple of hours later, or maybe the last day, you will send a WhatsApp message saying, hey, you know what? I sent you an email. I just want to make sure that it arrived, right? Isn't that how it is? We get so impatient. Things have to move fast. That's one thing. Constant availability, also on different channels at the same time. I ran a survey last year, at the end of last year, with 130 female professionals in Germany. And one of their main triggers for stress was the constant availability on all digital channels at the same time, right? We're here on Teams now. How many of you are actually on email at the same time? Or how many of you are checking their phones? I would love to know. I mean, I don't know, but it's a fact. You know, it's so hard for us to stay focused on one channel. Number two, fear of performance monitoring. I mean, when you have your own business, it's maybe not so much of a deal, but employees, you know, like people are worried that their boss wants to check the whole time what they're doing. So they want to be on all the time. And we have you have a status now, right? You see when you are online. You see on Teams right now. I'm not sure what apps you're using, but you can see the same with LinkedIn, with Facebook. I mean, all the apps are the same. So you see if the person is online, if the person is away. So a lot of people are fearing to be judged in a negative way, employees, you know, so they want to be constantly on. And have you all done it? I mean, I've done it. I want to confess it. You know, when you are doing something and you're like, okay, you're going into Teams right now, into your app to quickly scroll your cursor to make sure you're actually available, even though you're not. You know, it's just, I don't know, isn't it stupid? But that's what many people triggers, or that's a trigger for many people to be online, you know. And the third one is fear of missing out. That's a really big one. And FOMO, what it's called, you know, could be related to important deadlines, important projects, conversations. It could be related to deals, important deals, personal shopping deals. You want to make sure you know what's going on. WhatsApp groups, you know, you want to be in the group and be connected and respond so people know you're there, right? It's crazy how many WhatsApp groups people have. I don't know, I'm very strict with that. I usually move all my chats in the archive when I've responded to them, and I have over 200, but I've actually cleaned up 200 chats open, and a lot of them are also WhatsApp group chats, you know. And so many people are so active on chats the whole time, and I'm thinking, when are they actually getting work done? So anyhow, this is what many people are struggling with, and all of you, I'm sure too, in a way. Constantly be available, and this wears out our body, and then rely on stimulants like alcohol, like caffeine, games, computer games, food, right? To get the energy we need to substitute our behavior to feel better. But that doesn't help. It maybe gives us the short-term dopamine effect that we want, but it provides health risks on the long run. But what do we want to do? What is a healthy relation? What does a healthy relationship look like with our digital devices? Well, the goal is not to ban our smartphones or to get rid of them. We live in an age where we need them. But the goal is to use them more consciously, so we don't let our devices control us, because we are controlled by our devices. Bling, a message comes up and suddenly you check what's going on, right? Dopamine, hello. It's a reward center in the brain. So the idea is to control your phone and don't let yourself be controlled by your phone. And so, like I mentioned before, smartphones, apps are a great way. I showed you there's a few apps like Mental and Screen Time, but they're also really cool apps, and I can share an article afterwards, that on the apps who track the time, okay, how long you've been on your devices. Then there are also other apps who block certain applications. And you can do that too with your phone. You have do not disturb modes, right? Where you don't get any calls and things. Some of you may be using that already. And then there are also really cool apps that reward you or punish you. There's an app called Forest. You know, and when you basically stay offline for a certain time, it basically plants a seed for a tree. And then the tree starts growing. It's a real tree, I'm not joking. The app is not free, it actually costs money, so it's a good cause. So, and if you don't follow the rules and go back in again, then the growth will be stopped, and it will be the other way around. Your seed may never, actually rise and grow. So there are different applications that we can use, and they're all great. Find a way that's useful for you. I'm using apps also, but I have got a bit of a healthy relationship now to my phone, but I'll share in a minute. The first one is, before I share the ideas, is to really be present on one channel at a time. Everyone, how many years did we hear multitasking? Oh, I can multitask, isn't that great? Yeah, I used to think the same thing, but now I'm really focusing on one task at a hand. You get much more done when you do one thing at a time. And the same with the channels. We are on a Teams right now. We are on a webinar. Unless you don't really like what I'm sharing, then you may as well just leave the call, and do whatever you need to do. But be present, be fully observe whatever is in front of you that moment. Just be on one channel. If you're doing emails, you do emails. If you're doing LinkedIn, you do LinkedIn. Just be for 15 minutes, set yourself a timer and be on one channel at a time. Then another idea that I practice very strongly is to turn off notifications and social media alerts. And it's like I said before, it triggers dopamine in the brain when we hear a message, bling, or even on the phone when you see it. So I've turned off all my social media notifications. I do have a business and a personal phone. I know there is a difference between personal and business phone, but on my personal phone, they're all off. And it really minimizes distractions. It helps me to get much more done, to accomplish much more in that time. Just imagine when you work on something where you really need to concentrate, like a paper you need to develop or a project plan, and someone interrupts you, it takes up to 20 minutes to go back into the same concentration mode. Second one is establish smartphone-free times. Now, I am a huge believer in a morning routine, which is the routine that most people talk about, the routine of the millionaires, the routine of all the high-profile business people. And they're right, because a morning routine helps you to start your day being in control. I talk about this all the time. I have on my YouTube channel a couple of talks and also a webinar, what I do in the morning. Just to give you an idea, this morning, because I had still get a lot of stuff done for this presentation, I got up at 5:30, and I don't want to scare you again, but I meditated, I stretched, I went for a run, then I did my stretching again, and then I started preparing. I start the day so much more focused and structured. That is so important. So find times for you that work, where you don't watch the news. Don't watch the news first thing in the morning. Please don't, because then you go into a reactive mode. Don't look at your social profiles in the morning, because then you start to react, right? You're out of control. Stay in control. It's your morning. It's your energy, Observe that energy. Or even weekends, make sure you do digital detox on a weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Put the phone away, spend quality time with people. Quality time, being there, focusing on that person, not being on the phone at the same time. And the third one is define a smartphone-free area in your house. That could be if you live by yourself. I mean, it could be the bedroom. For me, it's the bedroom, even though I have it on for my music when I do meditation, but I don't do anything with my smartphone in my bedroom, apart from, well, nothing, really just listen music. I have one of those other things that wake me up. I forgot the name. Despertador, I know it in Spanish, but so I don't need my phone anymore. And there's so many more things you can do in your bedroom. A bedroom, I mean, I'm saying it because it's quoted, a bedroom is used for sex or to sleep, but not to work. You can use the bedroom to reflect in the evening. Don't have a TV in your bedroom because your body gets confused. You may have trouble sleeping because the bedroom is a place to rest. And that's what it should be, or do other fun activities, but not to work. And if bedroom is not your ideal place where you want to have the phone, or you want to be with the phone in the bedroom, then maybe the table, the dinner table, or your table. When you eat, fully engage with people. When we used to still be able to go to restaurants, can't believe I'm saying that, I would watch people a lot. I'll just sit there and watch. And I see so many times people sitting there, couples, parents with children, and all they do is they're on their smartphone, both of them, each of them. And I'm thinking, that is so sad. We're forgetting how to communicate with each other. Isn't that sad? We know how to communicate on our smartphones, and the whole generation's coming after us. They know how to swipe, the children and everything. But that's why it's so more important to spend quality time offline with people. Listen, engage to someone. And then you can use your phone again. So these are just some ideas that I wanted to share with you, but they do make a very big impact on how we feel and on our productivity and focus. Did you like any of this, what I'm saying? Did you find it useful? Say yes in the chat, communicate with me. Are you still there? I can't see you. So please always just be present. Say if you found any of this useful, of what I was sharing. Do you already maybe practice some of those ideas, which is good, because I'm sure that what I'm sharing is nothing new, because you all know technically what to do. Please don't be shy. Just Put it in the chat. No, tell me that you're with me, that you understand what I'm saying, and that you are engaging, okay? And if none of those ideas are relevant to you, you may be practicing them already. I just want to share some general stress management techniques that are helping me to stay focused, to stay productive, energized, to really feel, to be in a mental peak state, like Tony Robbins always says. So the first one, like I said before, is to incorporate a morning routine. Now, you don't have to spend hours like I do in the morning, but you can already start by drinking your coffee, just taking 5 minutes to drink your coffee, or to have a breakfast without being disturbed, just relaxed, making your to-do list for the day. So important. The busier your day gets, the more important it does get to stay structured. Then when your day gets busy at work, and I know you probably, all of you work, I don't know, 12-hour days, 10-hour days, make sure that you schedule movement breaks into your calendar. Please, please do this. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, go for a late morning break. It's impossible to stay focused every time, all the time. It's not possible. Our brain doesn't work like that. We need to rest. Our brain needs to rest. After 60 to 90 minutes, take a 5-minute break. That could mean just open the window. Open the window. Let the fresh air in if you don't want to go out. Just maybe go up, just jog a little bit, put on some favorite music, just dance along. I do that sometimes. Just shake your body up. It will help you. And if you have an assistant, if you're not very good at that, consistent, tell your assistant to please schedule time on your calendar. Make sure you take a full lunch break, especially when you have very long and busy days. So, so important. It does make a difference. I can share this over and over again because I witnessed this not only by myself when I talk to clients, other people, they do tell me the same thing over and over again. Delegate tasks. I know, when you have your own business, like I'm also a business owner, you want to do everything yourself, right? Because you know how to do it, and it probably takes much faster, and you kind of, it's your baby, right? Your business in most cases is your baby, and that's true, like it's, you know what you want and you need, and sometimes it's hard to delegate things. But if you can, please delegate tasks. Get an expert, delegate to a colleague, just push to someone else. So you can focus on the things that you're best at, because that helps to really free up time for the more complicated things where you really need to be there and focused and controlled. Get an expert. I'm saying the same thing. Why do I have to do everything? Do I have to do social media? No, I don't want to do social media. Can I do videos? I can't do videos. I don't want to spend the time learning how to do videos. I'd rather dedicate my time, and time is money, to something else, to something that I'm better at. Invest, it's return of investment. I know it's a money thing a lot of times, but check the return of investment and just delegate as much as you can. And then also, one more thing is check in with yourself during the day. And by that, I mean just, when you have back-to-back meetings, just finish 5 minutes earlier and just check in. You just take a deep breath and just ask yourself, how am I doing right now? Am I still good to go? Do I need an apple? Do I need some water? Thirst is already a sign of dehydration. And just to give you an idea, 80% of our brain is made out of water. 80%. You can imagine. If you're not focused, if you're tired the whole time, maybe lacking liquids. Water and unsweetened teas are best. I don't want to go into all the sugary drinks and energy drinks and stuff, but just check in with yourself. How are you doing? And be honest. If you need a break, take the break. Your body always communicates with you. Please start listening. This is so, so important. And last one is practice relaxation techniques. So I mentioned a couple of them already. Yoga is for me a great way to relax, to stretch my body, to really feel connected. Then meditation. I'm a big fan of meditating. I've been practicing that for years. I know it's not a thing for everyone. I've tried a couple of cool apps. Some of you may know 7Mind, Balloon, Headspace, Calm, Joe Dispenza meditation. So there's a lot of stuff out there. Just give it a try. You can try them for a week for free, the apps, and then see if it's your thing or not. I'm just trying out a few new ones right now, and I'm thinking, the voice, I don't really like this guy. So it's just, give it a try. If you don't like it, move on. Find something for yourself. And really give yourself that space to rest and recharge. That is so, so crucial, because it does make a difference on your feeling on the long run. And if you're younger here in the room, because I don't know your ages, you probably have more energy. I'm 38 now, so right, so I'm still amazing shape, best shape ever, I have to honestly say, because I take care of myself. I always make my health a priority, no matter what. But I know that it's different when you have kids and family, and you know, you share household with someone. But make sure you always spend this time invested on yourself, because it does come back. You know, I see it as a body is my house. You know, and the better I treat it, you know, the more I clean the carpets, and I you know, I make sure that it looks nice and clean and tidy, the longer I can stay and live in there. But if you start, you know, treating it wrong, then you start have to make renovations. If you know, if you don't really clean your shoes when you come out and walk around with your shoes, you know, just as a metaphor, then you have to start renovating, buying new furniture. So this is the same with your body. Just treat it well. And again, did you find any of this useful? You're so quiet. I can't hear anything. Is it just because you're really just, are you falling asleep already? Are you still there? Are you still with me? Can you just give me a sign in the chat that you're there, please? Just say hello in the chat. I want to make sure that I'm not the only one talking. Any sign? Are you there? I hope you are, because it's too quiet. But anyhow, yes, someone is there. Okay, no worries. You don't have to talk. It's fine. Okay, so before we go into the Q&A session and everything else, I have a little gift I want to share with you. I have a little guide that I want to give to you if you're interested, for those that are really, really stressed. It's a 10-page guide to quickly clear your minds of stress. So you can either copy that, or you can, I will be sending out an after email afterwards with all the presentation and also some more links. So you can then also download it there. It's very easy, just through Facebook. And then I also am a very strong believer in not just listening and then forgetting about it, right? Because habits don't stick when you just listen to something once, right? We all know it takes time to create habits. So I have a little action challenge for you. I want all of you now to either take a pen and paper out right now. Well, maybe just take a pen and paper out now. And please, of all the things that I managed right now, I want you to ask yourself, what can I do today to better manage stress? As an example, if you were to wake up in the morning feeling refreshed and energized, then the action could be, if that's your goal, the action could be to start staying away from your devices, closing them down, shutting them off at 9 p.m. or 2 hours before you go to bed, or start with 1. It may also be just to read a book before you go to bed. It may be going to bed at 11. But that's an action you can take from today or tomorrow on to get started, right? Build tiny little habits. I also have a training that I talk a lot about building healthy habits. The power of tiny habits, it's the repetition that counts, right? Or if you want to stay active or get back in shape, if you've put on some weight, if that's your goal, your action could be to plan in your calendar 2-3 times a week an exercise break, and then find someone you can exercise with, as an example, if you don't want to do it by yourself. There are cool apps. You've probably heard of Freeletics. You know Freeletics? It's a real cool, really good community where you do core body exercises. I do yoga with Maddie Morrison, if somebody heard of that. So there are just many different options and ways. Nike has trainings. I mean, Gym Pass, there are so many things. But please, do this for yourself. Don't just leave this webinar and say, yeah, you know, been there, done that. Just take action. You know what Tony Robbins always says? I'm a huge fan of him, is use the momentum. Never leave the scene of an event without having taken action. So take this action for yourself. What can you do to better manage stress? Write it down. And how can you get started? What's the first step that helps you to get started? I will check and follow up with you in 2 weeks' time. Then, before we go into Q&A, if you guys want to connect with me afterwards, please, I would love to talk to you more about anything that you have in mind. You could talk to me, please, about corporate trainings. I run certain workshops on resting and recharging, building healthy habits, getting more self-discipline, which is another thing that people struggle with, how to get out of your comfort zone. If you are interested in individual health coaching, I also work with women that have, I'm not sure, I also work with men technically, but they're all the same. But anyhow, I focus on people with stress-related health symptoms, you know, lack of sleep, digestive issues, overweight, and so on. So please contact me if you do have any concerns, any problems. You must start reclaiming your health now. Spring is the best time to reclaim your health. You know, Don't wait until tomorrow or next month or next year maybe, because it will never happen. Also, check out my website if you want to find out more. Send me an email. I would always love to hear from you. I'm very concerned about everything that goes on right now. I talk to so many people who are really at their limits, and it breaks my heart to see that, really, because when you're not, it's so great to be, you know, if you want more out of life, and I think all of us want more out of life, you know, more better relationships, more success, better health, then we need to be fully feeling great and taking care of ourselves. You can also connect with me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and also for all of you that may be on Clubhouse, I'm doing my first ever, I'm a virgin here, Clubhouse talk tonight at 8:30 p.m. where I'll talk with a client of mine and slash friend about I'll share tips of how to live a healthy lifestyle. She's also an entrepreneur, mom of 3, full-time working, and she still manages to exercise. So take this, no excuses. If you want to make it a priority, you will find the time, no matter if you have 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 children. It is more challenging, but it is possible. Okay, and also Therese will be sharing that we have a little feedback because it is so important for us, you know, to know that you either enjoyed what we just presented or you didn't, or to find out more about, you know, what you want to hear about in future topics. What are you struggling with currently? So please take some time to fill out a survey that, like I said, Therese will be sharing in the chat. I will also be sharing it in the email afterwards. Just a couple of minutes. It does help us to bring more value to future trainings. Okay, and with that, I want to open up the Q&A and stop my sharing here. So, okay, how are you doing? I can see your faces again. Ah, can you give me some noise, please? Listen, I'm just talking to myself. Can you just say something and say hello? Was good? Was not good?
Hello, what's good?
Hello.
So
Hello.
nice.
Okay,
I hope you
actually.
enjoyed that, really. You know, I know none of this is rocket science, we all know, but I think it's good to have a little reminder, you know, some now and then. So, any questions? Anything?
Maybe I will have a question. So,
Angelica, yes.
so sometimes, I mean, I just rush from one meeting to another. I mean, like these typical Teams meetings, which are like, you know, from 1 hour to the next hour, and then you just said, okay, then take your 5-minute break. I mean, it sounds really easy in theory, but it's so hard to do it in practice. So I don't know, in these situations, I never know what to do then. I mean, I see that my brain is just fucked up and I'm actually not really concentrated anymore, but I cannot leave 10 people waiting for me 5 minutes. So, I mean, what would be your advice then? Is there like a 30 seconds, I don't know, reset of your brain tip, or what would you do?
Yes, so first of all, I want to say congratulations. And you know why? Because you already are aware of your signs. That's the first step. You know, many people walk around, have no clue how they feel because they don't pay attention. So the first step to change is always awareness. So that's good. So I'm congratulating you for being aware. So then if you really, I mean, 2 different things. If you really are in a situation where you have no time left, and what I always suggest is open the window, let fresh, especially now because we have the heating on, you know, it's very dry, the air inside because it's still cold. So open the window, get fresh air, go to the kitchen, wherever you have a window, and just breathe in the air. Just that takes a couple of seconds. It's really not long. Just breathe in, take a deep breath in, get in the fresh air. It really, oxygen is so important for our brain function, just like water is. And also get something to drink. You know, I also recommend that always have something on your side, like a jar of tea, of water, so you don't forget about it. Look, I have like 2 things here, just to make sure that I drink enough, because it is so important. Very good, Raphael. I hope that's not beer in the thing, though. Said coffee, but okay. Anyhow, so that's some like immediate relief. What I do a lot is a breathing exercise. When I'm really stressed, I practice the 4-7-8 breathing. So that basically means I breathe in for 4 seconds, right? I hold it for 7, and I breathe out for 8. So that is a good way to just get your pulse down, to feel a little more relaxed. It's like a mini solution. If that is also not an option, you know what I really do sometimes? I turn on my favorite song of Martin Garrix, or a big fan of Ibiza, and I just jump for just a minute. That works wonders. If you have your favorite song on, just get the vibe, that helps you to get energized or to feel awake. You know, like anything that helps you to move in this case does help your body because the energy starts flowing in your body, you know. And I mean, eventually you would have to start planning your days a bit differently, but that's another story. But
yeah, I guess this is the long-term solution, but that already helped me. I really like the ideas. Yeah, just I think only opening the window, go there, have a deep breath. I think this probably will help. And the 4-7-8 I like as well. I'll try that.
Yeah, practice that. That's pretty good. Thank you,
Cool.
Angelica.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Daniela, there's also one question by Raphael in the chat.
Yes.
Regarding naps. What
naps.
I discovered is very reloading for me is taking naps. Anything you can say about that method?
Yes. Yeah, I personally don't practice it myself, but I know people who do practice that. And there's this one method where you probably know that nap, right? Where you have a key, you have your keys in your hand, right? And as soon as they fall down, you basically wake up. It's the power of like 10 minutes snapping. They do work for some people. So that's a great thing. If that helps you to really within 10 minutes be totally awake, do it. But I still think fresh air is still the most important thing. Like, you know, naps are a good sign if you probably need to sleep more in general. You may not, I'm not sure how much you're sleeping in general, but another thing is that's very important is to sleep 7 to 8 hours. We're all different, but we need enough sleep because our body is regenerating, we're repairing overnight. There's so many important processes happening overnight. If you don't get enough sleep, you will notice it. So that's the first thing, is to get more sleep in. But if that helps you to get the energy back, great. You know, it works for people. Yeah, cool. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? Please, again, if you haven't already, please take some time to fill out the survey. If it's in the chat, I can't see it, but yeah, I was thinking I do 2 things. I have my phone here, but Therese, have you shared the survey?
Yes, I did.
Oh my God, I can see all of these things here in the chat. Perfect. Okay, wonderful. Yeah. 2 devices, right? This is the same thing again, but anyhow. Any more questions? Anything you want to suggest? I'm also very open to recommendations of things that work well for you. You know, if you have a strategy that works well for you, please share it. I'm happy to learn. You know, I think the greatest gift is to keep learning.
I can share one because Franziska also wrote it in the chat.
Yes.
And I also came up because I heard some podcast and with the author of 6 Minutes Diary. It's a book you can also buy online, Amazon, and in each bookstore. And I started it, and I think it's really good. 3 minutes in the morning, 3 minutes in the evening, 3 questions. So what do I want from my day to day, the good things, and I think it helps really to focus on the small things that make you happy during the day.
That's very important, because gratitude is also another important thing. It's one of the pillars to myself for maintaining mental fitness, is to practice gratitude, because especially in the past year, we focus so much on things that are not right, that we're lacking. But the key to happiness and joy is gratitude. So it's a really good one. And to also, you know, plan the day, reflect on what has happened, what you've learned. I know that diary, and I think that's very good. I've had it myself. Very good tip. Journaling, right? Journaling is another very good idea to wind down the day. By the way, guys, did we take a picture? Did we? I can't remember. Therese, did you take a picture?
I did take one, but
good. Okay, good.
That was already with your presentation. So I wanted to say, if we can, I would stop your spotlight, and then we maybe can take another one.
See, I knew I forgot something. Yes, we want to do a little post on LinkedIn to promote the great stuff we're doing here. So would you all be up for a little picture? I mean, all the ones that are basically wanting to, right? And we want to have some energy going, right? Some, yay, I like that. Hey, I always thought we can do more than 9 in one thing, but it looks like it's only 9. But anyhow, ready, Therese? Are you taking the picture, or am I taking it?
Yeah. I'm taking it. Just a second. I want to try out another one. Yeah. Yay! Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Wonderful. All right. Well, I think we're really good in time. Suzanne, did you want to say something? Because you just have your mic up. No? Suzanne Trin? No. Okay.
I think there was another question in the chat
Yes.
Hannes. Hannes, do you want to read it out by yourself or ask the question by yourself?
I would be happy to do that. Hello, Daniela. Nice to meet you. Thanks for your talk. Yeah, very inspiring. Gave me a lot of energy. I have a question. I would like to ask you from an organizational perspective. I would like to know if you could recommend a sensitive method to do regular mood check-ins with our teams, you know, to create room for our team to voice mental health concerns, because obviously asking them the question, hey, how are you, doesn't lead to valid results.
Yeah, it is a topic that is a bit of a gray zone, right? I mean, not everyone wants to talk about it. I know that it's physical health is easy to talk about, you know, foods and exercise, but mentally, emotionally I know that. Can I get back to you on that? Because I want to think about it a bit more in detail and make sure I suggest something a little more valuable to you. Is that
great.
good?
And highly appreciated.
Yeah, of course, Hannes. That's yeah, it is a bit tricky in the teams. I know that. I mean, let me get back to you on that. Check-ins. Or maybe stop doing calls every morning. No, this is like a lot of times. I hear a lot of times in my organization, people do so many calls, and sometimes they're just too many. But I will get back to you, Hannes. Yeah, if that's okay. Anyone else before we're like, is it 1 o'clock now? Any other final comments? No, Simon. You're always Simon van Beek. You're always like smiling when you're listening. I'm not sure what you're listening to, but you always seem to be in a good mood. Did you like it?
Of course, I liked it because I'm a really happy person.
Oh, that's nice. I love that.
Yeah, and my mood is always I'm just stressing myself if I can influence it by myself. If someone else is often stress coming from somewhere else, from other persons who cannot attend or something like that, and I cannot influence it. So why should I stress myself for that?
You're totally right. It's right. Stress is something you perceive yourself, right? It's not an external force. It's how you perceive something. Yeah, I agree with that. I like that. Nice. Very good. Okay, I think as people are leaving, Catherine, I think we probably just want to wrap it up, right?
Yeah, I want to say a big thank you to you, Daniela. It was really a very nice session. Again, I loved it. And yeah, I had the feeling that all attendees here were really, convinced from your energy and your positive lifestyle you bring into here. So thank you guys for joining. And please think of the survey. Therese joined here also in the chat, shared here in the chat because we want to know if we will have more sessions like this in the future. So yeah, big thank you to you, Daniela, to Therese for organizing, and yeah, to all of you for participating.